Storyboards are like a comic book, but for film. What you do in a storyboard is, well, tell a story shot by shot to show what you're going to animate or what you're going to film. And even though not everyone uses them, they can be quite handy because they save you a lot of time when you're actually in production because you've already laid out everything. So, what I have for you guys in the work files folder is a copy of a PDF version of a storyboard sheet that I created for my company. So let's go ahead and just talk about what we see here. And you see I have 4 panels to explain what I was thinking for this particular spot. Now, I didn't write anything in here just yet because I did these sketches and I'm still formulating what I'm going to say because it's always a work of art until you get to that point where you want to start to shoot it. But as you see here, I have some kind of lake, maybe some trees here. So this is the first panel. And that's what these guys are here. These little rectangles are panels. And then you see these little bubbles here. You can put whatever you want here. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, whatever makes sense for your production so you know the sequence involved. Over here we have a description. And as I mentioned before, I can say what this is. For example, a frozen lake, I can say what time of day it is, that kind of stuff. Now, if there's dialogue, which we already know there is because of the voiceover in the earlier lesson, we could put that here. You could also put the length here. So if you're going to do a movie or you're doing animation, you could put your hours and minutes, you could put your frames, whatever you want to put here so you know how long each one of these shots is. And if you want to describe the lighting in the scene, for example, day, night, raining, that kind of stuff, you can put whatever is going on here, overcast, sunny, and then you can put whatever sound effects, which is SFX, sound effects, transitions, for example, cuts, wipes, fades, and music. Whatever music you want to put here, right in this little area. So in this instance, we know it's going to be a pretty, mildly sunny day. And I'm going to have the dialogue. I'm going to say that it's sunny here. And I'm not going to have any special effects right now. In my second panel, what I have is some kind of rectangular shape heading into the scene, which would, of course, be this here. And I just saved a little time instead of redrawing that. But this is going to come down, and the special effects here will be wind. And of course, you would do this separately in After Effects probably, or Adobe Premiere, or Apple's Final Cut Pro, or any editing application to do all your special effects and music. But I like to put those things here anyway. And we see we have a shadow as this rectangle comes in from above and then smashes into the ice. Or if that's water, which is something else I was thinking, this could be water, and the box creates the frozen lake because it's Arctic bite gum, so it's frozen. And so we see the cracks of ice like shoot up. So this is going to shoot up, and then we'll have special effects like, cracking of ice, that kind of stuff, really loud, almost like an avalanche. And then, because of the influence of the big box of gum, we're going to pan up a little bit, or we're going to rotate up, we're going to rotate around a little bit as well. And we're going to see that because of this gum, it formed the mountains. I know it sounds crazy, it's gum, but when you're doing a commercial, you have to just get creative. And because of this box of Arctic bite gum, we have Mount Everest with a flag maybe. So we have flags, mountains, pine trees, all because of this gum landing in this scene. So the storyboards take away the guesswork. And when you start to produce whatever you're doing, you can just refer to these. Now, granted, these are relatively simple, but typically when I'm doing things for myself, I don't really have to go so far into detail as I would for a client. So this, once again, is a look at storyboards. If you'd like to explore, let me just go ahead and hide these panels here. This is what you're going to find inside the work files folder, a completely blank PDF version of this as opposed to the Photoshop file that I have here. All right, so guys, that is a storyboard. Explore, have some fun. Feel free to write whatever script you'd like to come up with or whatever idea you'd like to come up with for this project. But I just wanted to show you what I was thinking about doing for this particular project.